Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Disconnected Esports Summer Series Showdown. Game 5. I'm here, joined with Krez. Krez, how are you doing today?
I do really good, Harry. We've been on a team before, now we're casting together. It's just going to be a great time, I think.
She's following me around. I can't get rid of her. It's impossible.
I'm sorry. It's true.
But yeah, as I said, this is game 5 of the Summer Series Showdown that Disconnected Esports have been running a group of show matches involving some Disconnected Esports teams and some teams from around the OCE community as well. Today, we've got an exciting matchup. We've got Supernova taking on Feet and Krez. These two teams, I've casted them both in the past, and they're pretty good, and there's a large group of players here that we've seen dominate throughout the last couple of years.
A lot of players in this lobby have been playing Overwatch pretty much since the inception of all of these competitive OCE tournaments, so it's going to be great to see them. And of course, the own home team of Supernova coming in with their sweet roster, as we can see on here, some big names that we've seen.
Yeah, so starting off, we've got George on the DPS, Tracer obviously being their favorite hero. Bunny on the Sombra, we've seen Bunny dominate throughout the last couple of years on this Sombra pick, playing it even before the rework and even Overwatch 1 a little bit as well. Chapadoodle on that tank role, Mutnik and Liam Fox rounding out the supports. And this roster, they really haven't changed all that much. They've had a couple of DPS swaps, but apart from that, this team has so much synergy, and the players themselves individually are extremely talented.
Couldn't agree with you more, Harry. Again, yes, a couple of roster changes, maybe with that DPS mainly, but the core roster of Supernova throughout the entirety of time has mostly been the same kind of core 3 to 4 players, so it's going to be really good to see what they can bring in today.
Yeah, and let's not count out their opponents, though, because Feet also have a hell of a roster coming through. Lex and Zephy taking over those DPS roles, Aegis on the tank, Citrus and ODP rounding out the support line. And again, these are players who have been around for a long time. And when you're looking at this roster, Citrus is the person who stands out to me. A main support player, has played in contenders, did a little bit of trials and open division as well, all at top levels. Incredible player, and someone who I'm looking forward to seeing in this matchup try and push their team over the limit, Krez.
Shout out to when Citrus used to go via Zach Decado. Yeah, all the OGs may know that one, but absolutely, Citrus been around in the scene for a very long time. Same with people like ODP, Lex, obviously quite around in the scene as well. Really complete roster, and obviously probably cold feet after those spicy Sigma toes.
Spicy Sigma toes. Oh, dearie me. Well, let's take a look at the map pool really quickly while I'm still reeling from that comment. Starting us off, we're going to be going to Control, and it's going to be Antarctic Peninsula. Then we'll be going to Hybrid, and because we are using the LPL or the Let's Play Live map set here, you have the options, or the losing team will have the options of Blizzard World, Kings Row, and Midtown as their hybrid maps. Then we'll be going over to Flashpoint, which will be either New Junk City or Suravasa, and then Push will be New Queen Street, Colosseo, Esparza, yeah. And then going into map 5, if we absolutely need it, we will have Shambali Temple, Route 66, or Dorado as the options. And this map pool is pretty slick. I like a lot of these maps, to be honest, Krez.
These maps are looking very spicy. It's going to be exciting to be starting off on the Antarctic Peninsula. I actually haven't seen a lot of the games that I've casted actually be on Antarctica, so it's going to be good to see what the teams kind of roll out with. I expect something a little bit more brawly, but we can see what these teams bring out. I know that we did see that the preferred tank for Supermanizer is actually on that Winston from Chapadoodle, so let's see the comps as we roll out.
Well, yeah, I mean, already hovering over that Winston, looking more towards that dive style composition, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Chapadoodle plays this, because I don't think that you can really engage with your jump or anything like that, especially against this composition that Feet have going with the Lucio to be able to boop you back in towards the team, the Sigma with Rock, you can get frozen up, slowed down by the Mei, walled in. It's going to be really difficult for Chapadoodle to actually find anything, and in fact, we're seeing the Doomfist come out here, Krez. I think that's even more interesting, but it can synergize pretty well with George getting in towards that backline as they start making their way now towards the point.
Absolutely, as they make their way towards the point, we can see that we've got a Doom and a Tracer on the side of Supernova, hoping to get some picks early, but Lex just right-clicking away, gets the first pick onto Bunny in the fight, and that might be the pick that they need. Obviously, ODP on the Sigma gets really good into the Doomfist with those rocks like that, just playing around those shields, just kiting space, and looking like the fight is going to be over quite quickly. Supernova losing that first member so quickly, Feet taking first control.
Yeah, and It wasn't really too much that Supernova did wrong there. The fight is still continuing, but it really was just a straight headshot. And now we see them trying to punish Supernova. Feet are doing a pretty good job, actually, of it.
Netra gets that pick onto Liam, and I think it's going to be back into the spawn doors for Supernova to maybe think of a comp swap, because this swinger is just taking so much space from them right now. They can't get too much done right now.
Yeah, there's the comp swap as well. Straight back over towards that Winston, so the side of the Doomfist isn't the play anymore. Chapadoodle dumping in already, really aggressively. There's the pick.
There you go. Bunny gets that first pitch onto Lex, trading back for what happened earlier in the match. And we can see that the diver's going down. The Sigma's getting down really low. Slizzo doing so much damage into that one, but getting a little bit of health back from that E ability. And there we go. Bunny gets another pick onto Solus, though. The immortality goes down. And Bunny's just gotten 3 kills in this fight. And that's going to be the flip back over. But Netra does get a pick onto Slizzo just as the fight is ending.
Yeah, that was really smart play there from Slid George, actually going all the way around and then going to point first, drawing the members of Feet away from Supernova's spawn, which gave Supernova a lot of breathing room, a lot of space, and Bunny absolutely showed up, hitting shots, and like you said, getting 3 kills in that fight. Crucial from Supernova. They now have this nano boost, and it'll build up towards the Primal Rage as well. Citrus has the sound barrier to counter it, but they need to use it at the correct time. Here's the engage.
So we see ODP has come back onto the Jungle Queen. The beat is invested too. They have so much health right now. They are just walking into the team, trying to get stuff done. But Chapadoodle in the backline gets a primal kill on Solus, and that might be the picks they need. Bunny getting the pick onto Netra, and looking like Supernova is just going to be cleaning up this fight. Bunny's going absolutely ham with this railgun right now.
Yeah, and that's all because of the space that Chapadoodle and Liam Fox managed to buy once again for Bunny to show up. And obviously hitting a shot is great, but so far it's been Supernova with their coordination on the dives that have really been killing Feet. And this Junker Queen swap so far hasn't paid off, but they do have some ultimates now with the Blizzard and that Overclock online. Mutnik needs to use their sound barrier very, very well.
Here we go. Bunny actually pops out first and is going to go in for some kills. Bunny's been getting a lot of picks and gets the first pick again onto Citrus. Just doing so much work with the railgun and the overclock right now as they go in, and now they are free to dive on the enemy team. Chapadoodle chasing other people. Solus does get a kill onto Mutnik, but it is okay because Bunny gets the kill onto Solus, and they are pushing Feet right back into spawn once again.
And crucially for Supernova, they didn't have to use their sound barrier, and now they're coming up towards that nano boost again. It's going to be interesting to see who this goes on to, actually, although they are 60%, so there's still some time. If they play it slow, they might be able to get it. But if you're Feet, you need to use your Blizzard here. You need to try and get Mutnik frozen up. You need to get the kills. There's
Lex
an
goes down really early. Lex goes down really early. Bunny again getting another kill right now, and is just doing so much work. Netra popping the overclock to try and get some work done. Liam falling really low, but Bunny gets the kill onto Netra. Again, a big pulse bomb stick on Slidger on ODP, and that's just going to be the round secured. They lost the first fight, but from then on, they were playing perfect dive Overwatch.
I have no idea where that Blizzard went, Krez. Did you see that Blizzard come out?
I don't see the Blizzard come out. I think what happened was Lex got antied really early onto the fight. They got a big anti onto Lex and ODP, and then they were just falling from there. Oh, you saw Netra pop that overclock to try and get some work done, but Bunny just sniping out Netra out of that overclock, and that was all that she wrote. The point just flipped.
And this is really important from Chapadoodle, because what Chapadoodle is doing is forcing everyone on Feet to look at him rather than looking at Bunny. And Bunny is just given all of that space, all of the area basically to move around and hit those shots. We do see a little bit of a comp swap coming in from Feet again, going back towards that Sigma, and we also have a bit of pause. So standard OCE gaming right here.
It wouldn't be an OCE game if there wasn't a pause on one side of the team. But a little bit of time to talk about maybe what we're going to see going into this round of Antarctic Peninsula, and also maybe what we saw in the last one. What went wrong for Feet after that first fight where they completely dominated it, and then it just all went wrong from there. They, like you said, everyone's looking at Chapadoodle, and while Chapadoodle's like drawing all of this attention, you just have Bunny sniping them all with that railgun.
Yeah, I actually really think that it was I think it was just the coordination from Supernova. Once they got a bit of momentum, they could ult cycle and things like that, and Feet just didn't do it as well. There's an anti-nade onto 2 members of the team, though, Krez, and this fight looks like it's already going to start.
Absolutely, we have it. Slizzle just getting in behind them, putting in so much damage on that Tracer, getting a little bit low, has to be a little bit careful right now, but we see Buddy is just in the back here trying, and actually is getting chased on 5 HP, gets hit up by the team, but ODP chases them down. They know that they're going to get Bunny out of these fights because they do so much, but here we go. They're trading back. ODP gets a kill on Mountain, but Chapadoodle doing so much work on the Winston right now. Lex does get the kill on the Liam Fox right now, and Chapadoodle is so low right now. A really broly first fight, but Lex getting the damage in done, and this is going to be, again, the first cap going towards Feet.
Yeah, that was really interesting. And this comp from Supernova is going to be really interesting now because I don't know whether supports are going to be able to set up for Chapadoodle to create any sort of space here. It's a lot smaller of a point, this point here, Krez. And so the supports need to play all the way back if they're not going to get pushed by ODP. And in that fight, we actually saw Netra TP them into the back, TP Feet into the back line and get right onto the supports.
So much good, but Netra takes down Chapadoodle. He just took so much damage. He got a Christian rock, and now, but Bunny's trading back onto Solar, so a lot of brawling happening right here. Netra getting really low. Lex takes out Bunny. It is just a brawl. They're trading back and forth. Splidger gets a kill onto Netra. Lex gets a kill onto Liam Fox. Lex gets the headshot kill onto Mutnik, and again, so much is happening. The Pulseful gets eaten by ODP, and that's going to be the fight over. This is exactly what Feet needed to do.
And Supernova actually tried having the supports wrap around that right side. They're trying to give themselves as much space as they can. They did hit an anti-nade. It was almost a perfect engagement. Unfortunately, they just couldn't do it. Lots of ultimates now online. Feet with the sound barrier. They'll get this gravitic flux, and they have the blizzard as well. For Supernova, they're going to have the nano boost, and they're going to have the primal rage coming up as well. There's the blizzard
early. Lex has decided to drop the blizzard early. All these people getting low, but Chapadoodle gets the kill. He gets the nano as well. So much is happening. Citrus kills Mutnix. Netra kills Liam Fox, but it's going to be the fight favoring Feet. I say that, but Chapadoodle gets the kill into Netra. Everyone is in this tiny ass room, and the Mage getting so low, but staying alive. How much can Chapadoodle do onto this backline? But the Lucio is just keeping them up, and oh my god, Chapadoodle does get the kill. Can he end up 1v1ing this Lucio? But are the respawns going to come through? They are. So let's get the kill onto Chapadoodle, but the point does flip in the process, and they are going to continue to fight. We have Mutnik and Slizzle on the point. The sound barrier invested. People are getting low. Solus is Andy, really low. 1 health. Mutnik gets that kill here. We go. Bunny investing the overclock into the fight as well, getting some really nice headshots, but the sim wall comes down. Bunny kills Citrus. Liam kills ODP. And Netra kills Buddy, but I believe this is going to be a stabilization from Supernova.
Yeah, it does seem like Supernova will eventually win this drawn-out fight. And crucially, they did flip the point early in that fight. So they've actually got 40% on the board already, Krez, as we have another OCE moment coming in. They did have to invest pretty much everything in that fight, though. The only thing they'll have is this Pulse Bomb coming up, whereas Feet, they do have the Amplification Matrix online from Solus. It's going to be interesting to see where they place this, because now Supernova, they can set the tempo. They can be as aggressive or as passive as they want to in this next fight, Krez.
It's going to be interesting to see how this Sigma, the Baptiste ult is used, because it is the only ult that is up on the board pretty much right now. Sorry, again, another pause. Again, Australian internet, it happens, you know. We're working hard to figure it out, but now you get to look at our perfect faces as well.
I remember as a player, this was me. It was Harry.
You were the reason. You were always the reason for the pauses happening.
I was the reason.
Internet.
I was the reason that we couldn't play any Overwatch, basically. We are just getting word that we are getting some ping spikes from one of the players here. So, everyone apparently is getting ping spikes. I've got a little fairy in my ear letting me know what's going on for all of our gamers who are playing today.
Whispering sweet nothings.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to talk about what Feet can do in this next fight, because what they've done really well up until that fight there was being able to get onto the supports of Supernova and staying together. Crucially, they were able to stay as a unit, whether it was, 3 going off and 2 staying on point, or all 5 members of the team going and hunting down Liam Fox and Mutnik. They always seemed to be cohesive with what they wanted to do. In that fight, it just got a little bit too crazy. And I think we've seen that when ultimates get involved for Feet, things get a little bit messy for them. They're very good at their fundamental gameplay, but the ultimate usage and when ults and when the fights get a little bit crazy, it almost seems like there's a little bit of a comm breakdown in those fights. And realistically, it looked like they should have won that last fight there. They just ended up having to try and attack a point, and it was just being stalled out beautifully there by Liam Fox and Mutnik.
Notably as well, Chapadoodle in the backline probably should have gone down a little bit earlier, but was able to play around that bubble really well. Just took the attention of two of the members of Feet for so long that the supports, even though they died early in the fight, managed to get back to the point. So even when Chapadoodle finally goes down, they're already back at the point and ready to stall. They start using ultimates as well. Notably, I think we saw like 9 ults committed into that fight. It was absolutely crazy. And it's a really good fight to come back out on top of after all those ults are invested.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it is a really good fight to come out on top of because you've got point control and you can start cycling your ults again of your Supernova. It's going to play a little bit slowly here. Maybe just get some poke to go towards that nano boost. It's 50% there. Bunny might even be able to get a cheeky early pick here as we see a rotation in the right room now.
As we see the fight start to break out, we see that Netra is going into the back line, but doesn't get anyone. I think ends up TPing out pretty quickly, but Chapadoodle is getting a little bit low, but has good bubble placement, but Lex actually gets the right click onto him. Bunny gets the kill onto Solus. Lex kills Bunny again, and Netra is taking out Slizzle, and they just clean up that fight really well. Like, so much had just happened. They invested the BAP window into the fight, but what a really clean fight. Didn't have to use anything more, now building up towards their sound barrier.
That's a really late stagger onto Liam Fox there. And that was exactly what I was saying as well. Feet right there. Netra TP'd straight on towards Liam Fox and Mutnik, and they were able to secure a kill so quickly that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to. Coming into this is last fight territory for this round. They have the sound barrier and they'll have the Blizzard coming online. Watch out for those ultimates.
Yeah, we need to see some of these ultimates being built up. Bunny gets stunned, crashes really quickly on in the fight. Lex ends up finishing up that kill. ODP gets the kill onto Liam as well, and it's looking like really dire situation. Supernova, the speed is invested by Citrus because they're just doing cleanup duty right now. Chapadoodle is so low. I don't think there's going to be much he's going to be able to do. He's not going to be able to work up towards that ult. Lex has they have all these ults to commit, and there we go. Citrus gets that last kill onto Mutnik, and it is going to be tied up on the Antarctic Peninsula.
Yeah, they didn't even need to use the ultimates, Chris. Forget what I said about watching out for the Blizzard. They didn't need it at all, nor the sound barrier. It was actually Bunny getting a little bit caught out there, and I think ODP really correctly identified that Bunny could be a threat going on that flank. Wasn't really close to their ultimate, but still the one-shot potential that Sojourn has is incredible, and it can be game-changing. If they get a pick onto Citrus, for example, who has the sound barrier at the time, that fight could go a different way. We did see Feet end up taking it, though. We did see them capitalizing on their advantage, and now we go 1-1 into this. Little comps change up here, though. Mutnik has gone over towards the Brigitte, and I think that's an interesting swap, considering you've been getting rushed down a lot. I think sticking with the Lucio almost may have been better.
Yes, Mutnik on his signature hero going to be playing the Brig, maybe just trying to play with Liam a little bit more, so hopefully when they get dove on, maybe by people like Netra, they can sustain a little bit longer. But here we go. The fight has started already. Chapadoodle already at half health. Bunny getting really low. I think they're targeting Bunny a little bit here because they know how much that he was getting the opening piece in all these fights before. Chapadoodle and Lex having a little bit of a brawl in the fight, but I do not want to be fighting a May. There we go. Here we go. Bunny getting the opening pick onto Citrus, just like we said. So important for Supernova to have Bunny firing at all of that damage. The immortality field is invested by Solus, but it is not going to make him last much longer. Oh, but the picks are trading back. ODB gets the kill onto Mutnik. Lex gets the kill onto Liam. This is what we were saying is happening. The supports are just getting a little bit caught out right here. Chapadoodle does get that final kill onto Lex, but there is still so much fighting happening right now on the point. Netra gets that kill onto Slidger, and now it is mostly even on the point. In fact, I think Feet might actually have more people around the point because they get back quickly with the Symmetra. A little bit of a lull in the fight. I think that Supernova has given it over. This entire time, however, point control has been in Feet's favor, and they've already ticked up towards 30%.
That's a really good thing to notice there. Yeah, 30% built up on the border, and they're getting towards these ults, but Bunny has the overclock. That's crucial. Immortality field's going to go down here, and Chapadoodle falls.
You almost Chapadoodle was going to get so many kills right there. They were all so low, but the immortality field was just so perfect right now, and Lex just trades back 2 kills. Everyone on Feet is so low, but they're securing all the kills, and that's going to be the fight over.
Yeah, and that's really interesting re-engagement there from Supernova because it didn't look like they had a plan for the re-engagement as we see a little bit of a ping spike there from our street. We are teleporting through everything, apparently. We
assume that there might be a pause incoming here soon, or maybe there won't be, but this is the kind of Overwatch that we do like to see. We do love being in OCU. Nothing's happening so far yet. No one has called the pause. So right now we are watching the same slideshow as you, as Bunny does get a kill in all of this chaos. The sound barrier is invested. We're just having a bit of a pause right now. Lex gets the kill on this lid door in the air though, and Netra gets the kill on the Liam Fox. Chapadoodle's flying. I know that we said that we're oh my goodness, I know that we said that they're Supernova, but they really do be flying right now.
Yeah, Supernova are taking us to another galaxy at the moment.
And Buddy gets the kill onto Citrus, and I do not know what's happening. Chappy Doodle gets the kill with the Primal. It's 96%. They do get the recap, and my goodness, this has been an absolute experience. I wonder if the players are lagging or if it might just be a spectator lag there, because that was spectacular. I don't have any words for what I just witnessed.
Okay, we seem to be fixed. I'm going to try and make sense of what happened in that fight. It looked like Supernova managed to go through with their overclock and with their sound barrier as well as the Primal Rage and finish that off. Crucially, though, Feet did use their sound barrier, so they don't have that defensive ult for this next fight. And that's crucial because the Nano Boost is online for Liam Fox, so that's probably going to go onto Chapadoodle, and Slidgeorge has the duplicate as Liam Fox goes down very early.
Again. Here we go. All the people again on Feet, kind of low, but here we go. The gravitic flux from ODP just doing so much, and they just invest a couple of ults that they had, and they end up taking the point, and I don't think there is going to be a recontest. That is going to be map 1 going towards Feet.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an ult advantage there, really. Wasn't really even that much of an advantage. I really think Supernova could have been a little bit more aggressive in that last fight there. You know it's last fight. You know that you have the nano boost and you have the duplicate. You can't let Feet get into a position to get onto your supports. I think they needed to play just a little bit more aggressively there, as we see the play of the game from Bunny. Oh!
The fadeaway shot. And the kill under Citrus as well.
That's a clean shot. I love that. That's great work there from Bunny. But as I was saying, I think maybe they just stopped being as aggressive as they had been in the previous maps. In that last fight, I think they were a bit too scared of maybe giving up the point rather than trying to just get the kills early. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes, though. They looked really good on that Winston composition, though. I will say that they looked incredible on that Winston composition. I would like to see Slidgeorge go back towards that Tracer, though. I think they looked really good on the Tracer and didn't really do a whole lot on the Echo.
Yeah, it did seem like that pick onto the Echo didn't probably help them too much, but I think it was really good to also see how Feet adapted. They obviously, Supernova did so much in that first map. They lost that first fight, but then pretty much clean swept the rest of the map. But coming back into it, they realized that their win con were taking out that support line, and Netra and Lex just in the back line being able to do that consistently. You see the May kill getting that right-click kill onto one of the supports, or even Netra taping into the back, getting a kill, and then getting out with their life. So important to them winning the fight, because if you can't help sustain your Winston, the dives aren't going to be nearly as effective as they were, and they weren't.
No, and they just weren't as coordinated in that last map there as well. And obviously, it's a much smaller area, so you have to be careful when you're Chapadoodle. One wrong step and you're behind the corner, and no one's getting to you. That's when your healers are screaming, "Get back in line of sight right now!" And I know this from personal experience. But this has been interesting watching them play this composition. I really think that if they're going to continue with the Winston, they need to just keep pushing forward. And I think, Nick, as much as Brig and Ana synergize quite well against a dive style composition, so if Feet had been playing a Winston composition, I think it would be a great pick. At the moment, with the current comp that Feet have been playing, I don't think that the Brigitte is giving the value that it really needs to. It's not getting enough Inspire proc. It's not whip-shotting anyone away from the Ana, so it's not stopping a dive. And Stun is great, but I don't actually think we saw a Brigitte ult come out from Supernova.
No, unfortunately, I don't think we did. And as well to note with that, it's also just free charge for the Symmetra, right? You've got a big shield that you're holding up, and like while you have a Lucio, you can like try and do a little bit of movement to dodge that one. We're holding up that Brig shield, and you're just giving that Symmetra even more power to even melt the backline even faster, which we did see that Netra was doing a really good job of.
Yeah, definitely. We probably could have even seen I believe we probably could have even seen Liam Fox go over maybe towards a Kiriko and go forward with their Winston as well. So they weren't being TP'd on as aggressively as they were. But for Feet, that you look at that first round and you probably thought, oh, a bit shaky, but coming back after that and then being able to win the next 2 rounds is incredibly impressive. And it speaks to the fortitude that this team has, not to get bogged down by one. Obviously, it's only 1 round, but to not get bogged down by 1 round loss when you maybe thought that you could have been in a better position, I think it speaks volumes on how Feet will play the rest of this series. And to be honest, if that's the type of synergy that we're going to see them TPing into the back line all as a unit and things like that, Feet could be very, very scary for Supernova.
Oh, absolutely. And as well, you could just see how much work ODP was getting done on that Sigma. Sigma in this meta is just so powerful on the maps that he is good on. And just watching all of these aggression kills, like identifying that Bunny was doing so much and getting all of those picks and just rushing onto Bunny, making sure that Bunny couldn't get the value that he was getting in those first couple of maps. Feat is going to push Supernova, but we also know that Supernova is going to come back from this. We could see how well that their dives are working. Maybe they move towards a more dive central map going into the next one and seeing hopefully that they can hopefully maybe force Feat onto more of a dive, matchup, and just watching them play maybe some of their favorite heroes. Maybe they can be playing that Brig.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about this next map really quickly because I think this next map is going to be very interesting. Obviously, the team, we don't know what choice the team has made yet, but we do know that they can pick between Blizzard World, Kings Row, and Midtown. All of these are pretty good for the comp that Feat have been playing so far. There's not really a terrible map for that Sigma sim style composition. TP makes everything pretty versatile, but a lot of these maps are actually quite enclosed, and we're going to be going to Blizzard World. I guess the second point for Blizzard World will be where this dive composition shines a lot more, and even to some extent this first point is where it's a lot easier to position your supports away from the TP. But I think this is probably, out of the choices that they had, I think this is probably the best choice that they could make.
I was absolutely going to say, if they're going to pick any of these maps, if they want to play their dive, Blizzard World is definitely the one to do, because you've got high ground that you can sustain on both of the maps. You've got places where you can do your initial dive to, and then you can, wait for all the cooldowns to come back, and then you can take another dive. I was thinking it was either going to be Blizzard World or Kings Row. I didn't think that probably they would be picking Midtown, because Midtown is kind of, I don't like Midtown. That's maybe in my personal opinion. That's just emotionally charged.
The easiest joke in the world is mid.
Exactly. Correct.
It's fine. It's fine for what it is.
But it's okay, because we're going towards Blizzard World, and I think that this is the pick that Supernova definitely should have picked, because I think if they want to be running their monkey comps and the composition that they were running in map 1, this is the map to do it on, because Blizzard World, as we are going to get into it as well right now, is a map where you can kind of play quite a few different things depending on what you want to do. I expect maybe we see Feat come out with the same composition, because I still think that Sigma does get some value here, but it will be interesting to see.
Certainly on the defense, it gets a lot of value. On the offense, if they're going to just be running this sim style composition, then it's also going to get quite a bit of value, but I don't think it gets as much. But, I mean, at the moment, we see them hovering over it in the attacker spawn, and Supernova, once again, playing kind of this pokey dive style composition. This is a really old school comp. This used to be a meta comp back in Overwatch 1, Krez, with D.Va as your second tank and everything.
Shout out to the old Overwatch 1 comps. It's going to be interesting to see how they play this one. I actually quite like how defensively that the Supernova roster is going to be able to work. Obviously, if Bunny can get some damage in on that Ashe while they're making their rotates, it's going to be interesting. But notably, Lex is going to be on that sim. Maybe they might be just trying to get out of smoke. But I think that the TPs to try and lock down people like Liam and Mutnik is going to be very important to see how that works out as well, because that's what they did really well in the first map.
Yeah, they're going to go around this right room, I think, and TP over straight towards point. If they can force Supernova to the point, they will win this fight. But Bunny's going to get a lot of charge on the Dynamite. In fact, they just try and TP straight onto the high ground. I'm not sure about that.
As we can see, everyone is getting quite low. Netra is getting very low, but is getting killed up by the rest of the team. They plant the pylon down, and I think they're going to have a lot of people playing from this high ground here as they try and wrap around. Citrus gets the kill with the Alari E, and while ODP is just on the high ground, completely decimating the back line. And this is what we were scared of doing. These TPs have just been so good by Netra to get ODP where he needs to go. They took 2 angles. They took that high ground, and then ODP wrapped around that left side, and then they immediately capped that first point.
Yeah, I think we need to see some adaptation really quickly here from Supernova. Slidzor just swapped over to the Hanzo, which I don't think is right. And, I mean, we're getting some cleanups here. I don't think the Hanzo is the correct pick here. I think if you're going to stick with this Winston, you need to be playing the Tracer. I think Tracer is a fine hero to play. There's a lot of cleanup happening at the moment here, Krez. And there's not a lot of ultimates on the board either. So swapping now, there's nothing really harming you.
Yeah, we see so much cleanup just happening on the side of Feat. They're going to be able to get it through this first choke point of Blizzard World quite easily. And I just think that the back line of Supernova is now their DPS, and their front line kind of consists of Chapadoodle. It just seems like a bit of synergy, and they don't really know what to play in order to get this Symmetra, who's just wreaking havoc in their back line. And as well as this, Netra's just freely charging this railgun and just being able to right click in. And there we go. Lex just gets the kill onto Chapadoodle. It's so hard, right? You have a Winston bubble, but that Winston bubble is helping Lex get all of this charge that he needs to in order to just melt the tank. And ODP, they're cleaning up the kill onto Slidor. They're like, there's almost no resistance right now on this map. It is just going to be Feet walking it through. So many ultimates coming up as well.
Yeah, but if you're Chapadoodle and you're diving in, who is going to be able to support you? Both your DPS are poke-style DPS. You're basically jumping in by yourself and hoping that Liam Fox can keep you up. There's the Tracer swap that I wanted. It's Bunny swapping over towards that Tracer as well, as we see the Gravitic Flux coming through.
As Gravitic Flux, Liam's going to get so low. He actually just does get okay now. Sizzle does get the headshot kill onto Citrus, and that might be what they need. Getting out a little bit of that sustained healing. Chapadoodle getting that primal kill onto Souls. And this is what we like to see, is when they take smart dives onto the enemy. They do invest the Dragon Strike as well, though, ODB does get the kill onto Mutnik, but it should just be some cleanup duty for the Supernova, as Netra pops the overclock as well, so wanted to get some more done, but Slidor just gets that headshot kill onto Netra. And there we go, ults invested on both sides.
Yeah, I think Netra was trying to channel the inner Pine carry there, because that was a wishful thinking on that overclock there. We do still see the Captive Sun online here for Citrus, but you have the rally and you have the nano boost still being held onto here by Supernova, so they have a couple of support ults that should be able to help them out.
We go, the pylon is invested. They're going for a hard dive onto the backline right now. We got the nano going on to Chapadoodle, who's just doing so much damage. ODP manages to kill himself, probably with his own rock, I would assume, as the immo comes out, but it just gets immediately deleted. And Chapadoodle has a free reign into the back line and is just going to clean up the fight right there. A really good fight from Supernova. They're finally starting to stabilize and get back off towards ults.
Yeah, this is much smarter now from Supernova, and this is the second point that I was talking about, where they can freely dive in and out with Chapadoodle. Bunny doing a really good job, wasting a lot of resources, allowing Chapadoodle to come in and clean up. Coming into this next fight, you now have the Primal Rage, you've still got the Rally, and you've got a Pulse Bomb, whereas Feet have nothing, but they've swapped over to the Bastion. So now Chapadoodle needs to be very, very careful with their dives so they just don't get completely melted here by the Omnic with a big machine gun on it.
It's going to be interesting to see how this fight goes. Obviously, Supernova have a lot of ults to invest, but Feet have none, but they have to be fight. And they do have a Bastion who is just deleting Chapadoodle. 85 HP already out of 1,000 already gone. Goes in for the dive. Oh, here we go. We see the rally, but it is completely countered by that window on the side of Solos. And it is just, what is happening in this room? The Dragon gets 3 people. Slipthor just gets a 4K in there. What an absolute chaos fight in there. You almost thought that Feet had the upper hand, but the Dragon Strike.
Yeah, okay, that was a meaty Dragon Strike, don't get me wrong. But I'm trying to figure out what Feet were thinking there. They almost melt Chapadoodle, and then they enter a little room. I think they were just trying to chase down Mutnik, who's now made the swap over off the Brigitte to the Zenyatta. There's no ultimates really on the board. Liam Fox might be able to get this nano boost, but it's only going to be Lex with the Photon Barrier, who should be engaging this fight with a TP and using that ultimate.
And Barrier Engage could be really good here right now, as they are actually just tipping into the room. So it looks like they're just trying to take space and get up onto the high ground and try and push the supports off right now. But again, just a little bit of a lull in the fight.
Yeah, they seem a bit lost here. They seem to not really know what they were doing. The cart has been pushed back a long, long way. So they've actually sent ODP to get onto the point here. There's an anti-nade that goes on. He
comes down and has to retreat back into that little room, and I know that they're trying to play from this room, but it doesn't look like much is going to happen. They're going to invest. Here we go, the nano going on to Chapadoodle, and look how much damage he's doing right now. The immo goes out, saves them a little bit of time, and they TP out as well, but Solus is, oh, he only barely gets it as well, and they do actually, through the TP out, Lex gets the kill onto Mutton, Lex gets the kill onto Chapadoodle. They are going to start moving this car. Netra takes down Slidzor, and just a little bit of positioning maybe mistake there. I think they got a little bit greedy with the nano monkey.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think that Chapadoodle had to go into that room. They did build up towards that Primal Rage, but there's 3 ultimates on the side of Feet, almost 4. Photon Barriers come out already.
Onto Citrus, that is a really good pick first in the fight, but the turret of Lex ends up taking down Liam Fox. Netra takes down Bunny. Netra takes down Slizzle. Chapadoodle does trade out, gets the jump pack kill onto Solus, but Lex and Netra combined, they did so much damage there onto the rest of the team. They managed to start pushing it through that second point. They're going into third.
It's weird that Chapadoodle decided to invest that Primal Rage there, because even after the Pulse Bomb kill, the point was already captured, Krez. There was almost a little bit of a C9. No one got onto the point before it could get onto that second checkpoint. And now we see a swap over to the Doomfist from Chapadoodle. Again, I don't know if this is wise, Krez. I think they're going to struggle a lot here, but they're doing pretty well building up towards, and there's a pick.
Here we go, another Dragon Strike. He lines them up so well. Look at that, another kill with a Dragon Strike. Sometimes you mostly just see them used as zoning ults, but Slitzer just got all of the angles, and he's playing Horizon Zero Dawn right now. He's just clicking on the heads.
Horizon Zero Dawn. That's fun. That's fun. I like that. Chapadoodle is quite low at the moment, but there's a lot of ultimates still on the board here for Feet. They didn't have to use anything. Crucially, Mutnik, who's made the swap over to the Zen a couple of fights ago, has that Transcendence built up. So a couple of these ultimates can actually just be completely counteracted, but Mutnik's in a weird position right now.
Really nice headshot from Slidzor onto Lex right now. He's decided that he does not want to be, they took a first cap, but he does not want them going any further. He gets another headshot kill onto Citrus. Netro does actually get that kill onto him as well, but then everyone on the team of Supernova just cleaning up the rest of the fight. 30 seconds left.
No Transcendence even needed. Solus put down the window there, but it was just ignored. They just walked past it. Really clean fight there from Supernova. We see Bastion using their ultimate from Spawn, so probably a swap coming through here as we see Lex go over towards that Mei here. And Mutnik's in a strange position here, Krez. This is going to be interesting, getting frozen up.
Hey, Mutnik is holding on to that Transcendence, so probably playing a bit aggressively because they know they can use it. Here we go. The ultimate comes out. Is he going to be able to save Liam? He is not going to be able to save Liam with the Transcendence. ODP does get the kill, but everyone else is getting cleaned up on the side of Feet. Bunny gets a double kill right there, and it is just cleanup duty right now.
Yeah, really good fight there from Supernova. They played it almost perfectly. Mutnik, I thought, was in a strange position, but it kind of worked out in the end just because it either meant that they had to go and touch point and ignore the flanking Zenyatta, who had trans anyway, so there was no risk to it, or they have to go and fight the Zenyatta, who then could trans away, and then they're giving up their positioning on the point. So it actually works out pretty well for Mutnik. Quite smart thinking there. For Feet, though, I think the swaps that they came in that last fight, it was a little bit too late for it. I don't think Netro needed to swap off the Bastion, personally, either. I think they could have stayed with that Bastion composition, and still pumped out as much damage as they did. Coming into this attack now, though, Supernova have a set goal. They managed to hold them halfway through on that third point. So now they have a set goal. They know what they need to do, and they're going to roll out again with this Ashe composition. I'm not sure if I like the Ashe composition, Krez. I don't think it offers enough damage. I don't think it offers enough pick potential.
Going for a pick on maybe someone like Solus or Citrus before they can even get those abilities down, and that's maybe why they're choosing to pick that Ashe. Obviously, Ashe can be very good, but yeah, the angles are going to be rough, especially when you've got Lex who has that TP. He can just TP them all to another high ground, and then Ashe doesn't have a line of sight, and then you're really relying on Slidzor and Chapadoodle to make something happen.
Yeah, the only concern I have with this Ashe now is, can it get enough damage, and can it get into position quickly enough to get those picks onto Citrus or onto Solus? It's going to be really interesting if they can get around the shield of ODP here, and it's going to be... I'm going to find out how they're going to use their TP here. Are they going to try and TP onto the back line whilst they're setting up for the dive, or are they going to try and chill back a little bit here? Just a little bit of poking and prodding here will mean that Liam Fox can get towards that nano boost quite quickly, and in fact, they might just sit there and just try and farm it a little bit.
It might be trying to farm towards ult right here. So we actually see the initial jump come in, and there we go. Bunny does actually get that first pick onto Citrus. That is so much healing down already and Chapadoodle takes that as the ghost sign. Everyone on the side of Feet are really low right now. Netro going down. Chapadoodle is low, but is getting healed up by the rest of the team who are just sitting back. And wow, what an amazing dive. I know we were skeptical of that Ashe pick, but Bunny getting that first opening kill, so much heal is just gone.
That was so well coordinated from the side of Supernova. They threw the dynamite and jumped in at the same time. There was so much burst damage, and then hitting that shot on Citrus, who was trying to jump away. Terrific work coming from Bunny, making me eat my words almost immediately. Now, coming into this next fight, it's going to be interesting to see how Feet, once again, positioning use their TPs. They really got nothing of value from it in that last one, as we see a little bit of a staging fight happening.
Yeah, they're just fighting for control of this high ground right now. Chapadoodle is just doing a good job of saying, no, you can't have this for free. I want to be holding here as well. And I think that they're just trying to get a lot of these abilities. Obviously, TP go down. There you go. See the pylon go down as well, which is really good for them. And I think that they're just trying to poke and probe. But oh my gosh, Lex is high beam energy and is just melting. Netro actually ends up finishing off that kill. But the card is going to still be rolling. They did just lose their high ground for now. And Chapadoodle's going to be back up quickly. Yeah,
Chapadoodle can just jump in and out at will at the moment. I really wonder how ODP got 1v1 there by Slidzor, who's now built up towards that pulse bomb. Keep an eye on that. And Liam Fox with this nano boost. Actually, there's a lot of ultimates coming online for Supernova. I'm expecting the nano going on to Chapadoodle to engage this fight, though it started off. Actually,
really
it's the pulse bomb.
Post-bomb pick already. They've invested the immortality field as well, and so Solus can't keep himself alive now. It is crumbling just a little bit. Lex is on that high ground, high beam energy, but it's so low. The primal is popped because Chapadoodle was like, I do not want you killing me with that high beam again, and then now it's just clean up, and they are rolling through these even faster. Feet obviously got stopped a little bit on that second point, but Supernova's like, nah, we're just going to keep it rolling.
This is terrible for Feet right now. They have ultimates of their own, but Supernova really didn't have to use anything. Mutnik is going to have their rally, Liam Fox is going to have that nano boost, and Bunny is going to have Bob. It's just having a 6th player. It's cheating, essentially. No, we will see Feet with some ultimates of themselves, of their own, or almost all 5 of their ultimates, but they really need to win this fight, because if they end up losing this, they'll lose this map.
They cannot get picked right now. That's a really large dynamite from Bunny. It gets basically everyone so low. Here we go. Ulti getting invested everywhere. They send Bob in. Chapadoodle gets the kill onto Citrus. There's a big wall, but that's not going to stop the Winston cannon just from tickling you in that backline. As we see, the rally is also invested. And I think that this fight is just going to go on the side of Supernova. They just perfectly used the 3 ults that they did have.
Yeah, looking on paper, that should have been Feet's fight. Realistically, it should have been. But Supernova did such a great job in that little poke phase area of forcing out resources, getting a whole buttload of damage in onto Feet, and really putting them in a terrible, terrible position. Great dynamite usage there from Bunny. Once again, like I said, making me eat my words in terms of the Ash pick as we see here. This is the Dragon Strike in the little room from Slidzorge. Good usage of the ultimate right there, Krez. But again, it was really interesting to see the Ash actually turn around and really pay dividends for Supernova in those last fights, because it was just pumping out so much damage, and it seemed a lot more coordinated, Supernova, especially on their dives in that map.
Yeah, Bunny making you really eat your words on saying that you didn't really like that Ash pick. Gets the first kill in the fight, starts the snowball, and they don't even really get the cart doesn't stop moving from there. They just pushed it all the way through pretty much to the end, sending out the Bob. Bob didn't get maybe too much value, but the dynamite value that Bunny was able to get on those Ash picks was absolutely insane. Got it onto 2 in the back there, and they got so low that they had to start committing their resources, and then I think Feet started panicking. They just started throwing ults out there, probably not the best usage of them. They got all frazzled. They knew they had so many ults and they should have won the fight, but then Supernova just laying their ults perfectly on top of each other in order to secure that win.
I like that word. I like that word, frazzled, because I think you're 100% correct. That is almost exactly what happened. They fell to pieces. They seem to just never have any sort of stability with where they were positioning, what they were wanting to use their TP for, anything like that. Realistically, if they were going to keep playing that comp, I would have loved to have seen them try and TP just aggressively onto the backline. Leave the point, because you can go back for it eventually, but you need to get onto that backline, because otherwise Chapadoodle is just going to run riot on you and create so much space for Bunny and for Slidzorge as well. Going into this next map, though, Suravasa has been chosen, and it's a very pretty map, but I don't know about my opinions on it just yet, Krez. Do you have any hot takes for Suravasa?
I think between the maps, I do like Suravasa as a pick. I think if you want to be running kind of like ODP's been running that Sigma, that Junker Queen, maybe we even see Orisa come out, because I know Orisa is very good on Flashpoint as well. It does. And I think that this is something that's really good. I don't like New Junk City, so I think Suravasa is a pretty Flashpoint map. But one thing to note is that your Broly comps are really good on these Flashpoint maps, because you just want to be running into those teams. You need to be taking as many fights as possible. And I think that this game mode, I think, just lends themselves to Feet a little bit more. So they do just have a little bit of an advantage, maybe composition-wise, in these maps. So I don't think it necessarily mattered which ones they even picked. I think they had probably a little bit of an advantage on both of them, but I expect to see them going back to the same kind of compositions.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect too much to change. I think if anyone is to change on this map, it would be Supernova, more so than Feet. I think Feet's composition has been fine for this, like you said. Supernova might see a little bit of a swap over, but we haven't seen any Sigma from Chapadoodle yet, so maybe they play more of the Winston Rush style composition. They play way more aggressive and try and just punish any sort of mispositioning from Feet, which in that last map there was a fair bit of. So maybe you're inside their heads now if you're Supernova. Maybe you're going to have them second guessing themselves.
inside their heads, inside the
Mental
walls.
game.
Exactly. No, I am quite interested to see the composition that Supernova runs out, because I personally, when I have played Flashpoint, I never see a dive composition run. You never see anything like a Diva or a Winston. There you go. This is more like maybe what I was expecting. You see a Doomfist, because at least the Doom gets in and out, can get healed by Liam and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have seen Chapadoodle play a little bit of this Doomfist. It has had mixed success. It was good towards the end of that Blizzard World map. Wasn't so hot in the Antarctic Peninsula map, and we saw a very quick swap off of it. So it's going to be interesting to see how long Chapadoodle sticks with this Doomfist pick if things start falling apart. And if you're ODP, you need to save your rocks for those blocks, and maybe to stop that Empowered Punch getting charged up as well. TP out of spawn and swap over to Sojourn. Same composition here from Feet. They know what they want to do. We've seen what they can do. Let's see how this map goes.
As the fight starts out, we have ODP taking early point control. Liam, a little bit out of position, has to use the nade on himself and wraps back around. Chapadoodle uses the punch and is immediately like, the Maywell was like, nope, you are not coming back in right now. So early control going over to Feet again. Solus getting that pick onto Mutnik. That is really not good. That is a lot of your sustain going on the side of Supernova, and you have Netra just firing from the safety of the point. This is going to be first cap going over to Feet.
Yeah, we're getting another OCE moment here, another pause. That was really well executed there by Feet. They got onto the point. They knew exactly who they needed to target. And again, it was Liam Fox who was getting pushed at, rushed down, had to be forced out of position, which meant that Chapadoodle had to go back and try and peel for Liam Fox. And that just meant that Mutnik and Slidzorge were by themselves in the back line. And obviously, Mutnik was the first person to fall. And in fact, I think the only person to fall. Not too much to talk about in terms of ultimates here. Liam Fox is built halfway towards that Ana, towards that Nano Boost. That's the word for it. Has built up halfway towards that Nano Boost. We'll probably get that about 30% or so into this next fight if it goes on for a little bit and we don't see any picks from either side. I do want to see Chapadoodle and Slidzorge really link up and get an engagement here, even with Mutnik, because 3 people on 1 should result in a kill, even if Solus has the immortality field there.
I couldn't agree with you more, Harry, as well. The good news is, because Mutnik was the first one to fall on the list, so we'll be able to get back into the fight early. But as you can see here, we have ODP looking that he wants to push up, maybe try and get a pick on someone, because this is what Flashpoint is all about. It is about not staggering once you have lost one member, because the point ticks up just incredibly fast. You get maybe 2-3 fights on all of the points, and then you're done pretty much with the map, and it's over. So if ODP could get a pick right here with the rest of the team, that could be catastrophic, because that means Feet have to Supernova reset once again, and that would just not be great.
No, it wouldn't be great at all. I'm really interested to see why the Lucio, or I'm really interested to figure out why this Lucio is actually being played in this dive style competition. Obviously, I've been saying the whole time that I did kind of want to see more Lucio than Brig, but this seems like a pretty decent enough Brig style point. You can get Inspire. It's a much smaller map. So it's not like you're going to be doing a lack of healing on Brigitte. You just might be being run at more. And I mean, Mutnik just has to link up with the rest of their team.
Here we go. We have Chapadoodle going into the back line, but immediately gets stunned down. So let's get a kill onto Bunny, and this is exactly what I said was going to happen. They do all link up together. Chapadoodle does get a kill onto OTP, but Lex gets that kill onto Mutnik, and pretty much. Oh, unless something happens right here. We do actually have a lot of the dive here, members of Supernova left right now. So wondering if Chapadoodle can maybe get some stuff done by going to the backline. However, Citrus does take out Liam Fox in the backline, and this is just going to be a hard reset. So Lex just gets the right click onto Slidjaw, and that's definitely going to be fight over.
Lex has been killer with these right clicks. It's insane to see Lex do so much damage with these right clicks, and we can see how much damage they've done because they've got the Blizzard built up. It's the only ultimate on the board at the moment. Bunny has made a swap over towards Genji now. Mutnik has made the swap over to the Brigitte as well. So hard resetting their ult economy except for that nano boost, and you assume that's going to go into Liam Fox. This is last fight for this point. There's the Blizzard.
Here we go. As soon as they see Chapadoodle jump, they invest that Blizzard. So smart right there, because they know they don't have cooldowns. They invested the nano, but it doesn't even matter. What a perfect Blizzard from Lex, and what an amazing fight on this point. This splash point is going to definitely be ticking over in favor of Feet.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake investing that nano boost there from Mutnik. I think as soon as the Blizzard goes down, you have to know that you're probably not going to keep Chapadoodle alive through that, even with the nano boost. And I also think Mutnik's being a little bit too aggressive with their positioning, because that's not the first time that they've been caught out by the Mei in this map. at all. Ult advantage firmly in favor of Feet right now. We will see the Dragon Blade get built up midway through this fight, and Slidzorge could find a pick with this Pulse Bomb, but it's gonna be pretty hard, especially with the Immortality field there.
Just feels like Feet have just a bit of a composition diff at the moment right here. Obviously, Chapadoodle has gone over to the Winston. Oh, Solus does get stuck by Slitzel, but is able to invest that Immortality field, keeps him up completely, invests the window back into that one. Stand Barrier invested too. Chapadoodle gets the pick onto Netra, but ODP gets the aggression kill onto Liam Fox, and so much is happening right now. They invest the Blade, and it just gets immediately shut down. Look at Lex is going absolutely ham.
Lex is just filthy on this mag. There's nothing else to say. I actually thought it was a bit of a mistake originally from Feet. They invested both their ultimates really early, and I thought that Bunny would be able to clean up. Unfortunately, just not enough health to do it. Coming into this next fight, Chapadoodle is going to be coming up towards that Primal Rage, and Mutnik will have their rally, but they're going to go against ODP and their Gravitic Flux, as well as Netra building up towards that Overclock.
Doing such a good job of like mitigating Chapadoodle's dives right now. Look, he's immediately so low. Liam Fox just gets walked on by ODP. Lex gets the kill onto Bunny. Netra gets the kill onto Social. They invest the rally as well. Monkey does actually get that kill onto ODP, but it doesn't matter. There's already so many people dead on the side of Supernova. But isn't that insane? Chapadoodle managed just to stay alive, and he's getting some damage done. However, is cleaned up because Bap just does so much damage for a support.
That does do a lot of damage for a support. That was, again, not great ult usage there from Supernova. Everything seemed to fall apart for them. Liam Fox really aggressive once again. ODP just in the face, and Feed didn't have to use any of their ultimates, so they're really chilling out for this fight, especially with this Blizzard online.
Slids are forced to touch the point. The Maywell really good means they all have to funnel through the one window, and they just get pushed off of the point, and they're still touching the Netra does invest the Overclock, which is completely fine because I think they just want to secure this one down. They don't want to give it any doubt. Liam Fox does take out Lex on the way, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the team is dead, and that is going to be the second capture point going over to Feet.
Yeah, I think Supernova need to make a change, and they need to make a change now because this is not working for them. Feet, once again, they only used one ult, and they probably didn't even need to use it. It was more just a cherry on top. Now they've got the Blizzard, they have the Sound Barrier, they have the Amplification Matrix, and they've got the Gravitic Flux as well versus Supernova, who, once again, just have the Nano Boost. Aggressive play coming in, though.
There we go. The Bunny gets the deflected onto Solus. Notably, Chapadoodle does get the Nano, but immediately gets ulted into the air by the Gravitic Flux. But ODP is a slither of health and should be taken down right now. Here we go. This is the fight that they needed. The Flashpoint, it hasn't unlocked just yet, but they are going to have much better priority in order to get there, as Netra just is trying to escape with their life.
They will have much better priority, but Feet didn't overinvest their ults. They tried to use ODP's ult to maybe salvage the fight. It didn't work. They decided not to invest anything else. Great usage there. They come into this next fight with both support ults and the Blizzard. Maybe we could see Bunny get a deflect on the Blizzard, but it's going to be difficult otherwise. It's already trying to get in the back line.
Here we go, the fight starts again. Lex is just walking and left-clicking. Mutnik doesn't know what to do. Gets killed by the melee in the air. Bunny commits the blade as well. They're both so low. Does get the kill onto Citrus, gets the dash reset. Is doing a little bit of work in the backline. So is Chapadoodle, gets the kill onto Netra as well. And this is finally what you want to be seeing. They're starting to clean up those kills. The dives are working a little bit better. They're just trying to avoid Lex.
Yeah, and crucially, they forced out the Sound Barrier there. They still have the Blizzard online. Lex didn't feel the need to invest that there. I think that was an interesting choice. And now Supernova, they have some ultimates coming online here. They have the Nano Boost, they'll get the Rally, and they'll have that Overclock as well. And they're going to build up towards. This is the last fight for this point, at least.
Yeah, so many ult combos that could come down right now. If they get the Nano Boost, they could Nano the Brig, they could Nano Slidzor, but he's just going to use the Overclock really early. Lex is going to fight him in the room, but does not win that fight. Slidzor takes down Lex, Liam takes down ODP, and I think this is going to be their first flashpoint they cancel, which is really great. Again, Feet not using their ultimates.
Yeah, that is interesting, but I think they know that they don't need to win that fight there. They can win another point. They're maybe just trying to force out some ults from Supernova, but Supernova still have both support ults, so it's going to be really interesting to see how Feet deal with this. They do have both DPS ults, and they still have Solus's Amplification Matrix as well. They're trying to catch Mutnik out really early here, but it looks like they'll be able to rotate through.
Here we go, the Blizzard's finally invested into the fight. Taking a little bit of a nap though is Lex, but Netra uses the Overclock through the window. This is going to do so much damage, just waiting for the deflect to go down. Just a flyaway shot onto Bunny, and this is looking like Feet could win this point, but two people do get stand up. The Mutnik does invest the rally, but they are going to retreat right now. They don't want to stagger out any further.
Yeah, Mutnik invested the rally, which I think was interesting. Something really cool that happened in that fight, by the way, I don't know if you saw, was that the Blizzard was slept cancelled. Liam Fox cancelled the sleep. Nano Boost has been invested though early.
The
Fine.
fight is coming in though now. The Nano going back onto Chapadoodle. Lex gets the kill onto Liam and ODP get Mutton though, but Chapadoodle's doing so much work. Kills Solus, is going for Netra as well, and they do get the flip. What an amazing use of ults. It's just so impressive to see how Chapadoodle is able to use these Primal Rage kills and how well he layers his abilities on top of each other. I know ODP gets the rock there, but he should probably go down right now. He does. Chapadoodle on 1 health and does actually get taken out by the boot kill from Citrus while Lex takes out Slidzor again with the right click, and now this is not looking good because now Feet are just going to start walking into the point.
We have some ultimates to use here as well. Citrus with the sound barrier. ODP will come back with that gravitic flux. Bunny building up towards that Dragon Blade now. Has to disengage for a bit. This is going to be really interesting to see how these ultimates are going to get used here, Krez. It's going to be a one big fight.
Absolutely. Notably, the Dragon Blade's probably going to come in. Are they going to be able to get it? Yes, they do end up using the Gravitic Flux to get Bunny up into the air, but he does already kill Netra by the time that's happened. Bunny does get traded out. ODP doing so much work. Kills Chapadoodle too. Lex gets the kill onto Slidzor, and Feet managed to hold, and Lex gets slapped on the way out by Liam.
Yeah, in fact, they invested Blizzard. They're going to catch first support.
I think this was a very smart Blizzard. That, you know, the supports wanted to escape, but they just didn't end up wanting to finish him off. They just wanted to leave him slip, and they wake him up. He uses that Blizzard. That's a huge stagger. The supports are going to be late back to this next fight. This is final fight.
Final fight of the map, potentially, and that was massive because for Feet, they don't have any more ults anymore, but they forced Supernova to use theirs. Now they're about to kill Chapadoodle.
Chapadoodle gets out. Really good bubble placement right there. Here we go. The rally is coming out. What can they get done with this rally? They're just putting all of their resources into ODP. The MO comes out to try and protect him, but he's so low. He gets anti. Chapadoodle gets the kill onto ODP. Gets the finishing blow. As so much is just happening right now, but I think that Feet should just disengage here. Yeah, there we go. Lex goes down, and it's going to be one more fight, and this is potentially to tie the map up.
They're trying to get some staggers here, Krez. This could be massive.
They do. They get the stagger onto Solus right now, and Citrus and Netra just need to get out with their life. Netra has that overclock ready for the next fight if they're able to get out. Citrus getting very low, but I think they've managed to get out. But I don't know if they're going to be able to touch the point now.
I think the staggers actually may have just kept them alive in this map. We're going to go down to the last point now, Krez. For Supernova, you're holding on to a couple of key ultimates as well. You managed to keep your overclock. You've got your nano boost. You'll build up towards that primal rage as well. Feet also have the overclock, and they have the window as well. But, I mean, Chapadoodle could just get right in the face of Netra here and completely shut that ultimate down, Krez. Coming into this now, though, it's do or die for both teams. They're going to reapproach here. This last point is going to be absolute pandemonium.
All right, this is an epic comeback. If it does end up happening, it's going to be interesting to see who gets first priority. I feel like getting the point first is so important in these flashpoint maps. Right now, we have Feet who are stationed on the point pretty heavily. But here we go. Nanoverse invested is always going to watch Chapadoodle because look how much damage he can do. Bunny gets the dash kill onto Netra. Slizo takes out Solus. And even though Feet were on the point, they just layer their odds beautifully. You always kind of see that the Nanoverse is being used in conjunction just to get some damage in, and then if he gets a little bit low, he pops that primal, but Chapadoodle, what a god on the Winston.
Great Winston play coming from Chapadoodle. Well-used ultimates, and crucially, they hold on to both the DPS ults. Citrus does have the sound barrier, and ODP will come on that gravitic flux, as well as the Blizzard from Lex, but they need to try and find a position to get into to layer these ultimates on top of each other to get value, and Slizzorge and Chapadoodle, they're going to try and stop it.
Here we go. Slizzor is using the overclock. The beat is invested. Really nice beat there to keep them alive. Slizzor is now getting walked on by the rest of the team. That is the problem. If you do not get value immediately, so much used on, but Bunny goes in with the blade. It doesn't need a nano boost. Goes in, kills Citrus. Bunny gets the kill onto Netra. Bunny gets another kill onto Solus. ODP does get the kill onto Liam Fox, but it's looking like Supernova is going to keep control of this point, and they are, and they're just going to stagger them out slowly but surely. 70% of the point build up. They're going to have a gravitic flux, but that is it.
That was expert play from Supernova. And like you said, only one ultimate now for Feet in the last fight. They need to get here quickly. Lex has made the emergency swap over to the Tracer as well. Liam Fox and Mutnik need to look out for each other. Mutnik does have that rally online, so it's going to be difficult for Lex to really get anything done. 97%. Can someone touch the point? They do get there.
Absolutely. Lex touches the point. Is just dancing in the background, trying to stay alive. They do get the kill onto Chapadoodle right now, but they do need to get onto the point. Oh, the whip shot from Mutnik whipped. That might have actually been the end of the map if that had happened. But here we go. Rally being popped right now. Gets a double stun on there. ODP so low. The team is so low. The sustain is they're just trying to stay on the point right now, and they're just trying to get whip shotted off. That's all Mutnik wants to do. But Netra does get the kill onto Mutnik. Bunny gets the kill onto Solus though. Slator is back on the Tracer too, and everyone on the side of Feed is just so low. ODP is just anchoring on the point, trying to do a little bit of shield weaving, but it is just him and a Lucio left. It's just Citrus alive on the point right now. Cleanup comes through. Supernova goes 0-2 down in the map, end up winning at 3-2.
Tremendous play from Mutnik in that last fight to pop the rally, get the triple stun, force so many cooldowns out early as well. And it looked like that Supernova were in a really bad position at the start of that fight because Chapadoodle got caught out early with that Gravitic Flux. But great comeback in the end. Great work there, especially from Mutnik, to keep everyone kind of congested, dealing with him. That rally is really powerful when used correctly, and Mutnik is gave us a demonstration on just how to use that ultimate in those dying stages of that map as well. Supernova go up 2-1 in the series now, Krez, and I mean, it's match point for them.
Really like how Chapadoodle ended up swapping over from that Doomfist. I think obviously was like maybe not the monkey on a map like, you know, that Flashpoint, where you maybe not get a lot of value and you think that you do want to be running those Broly comps. But then Winston is such a better tank to be playing into that Sigma matchup than a Doomfist, because Doomfist, while he's blocking, he's just free to be getting a crash and all of that kind of stuff. And just as soon as he swapped over to the Winston, everything just seemed to go right for them. They had a really good nano target. You didn't actually see any nano blades come out. You didn't see any nanos onto the Sojourn for the overclock, because they know how much work Chapadoodle is just going to get done on that initial dive with the nano. Following it up with those Primal Rage, I think they won 2 to 3 fights just by doing the exact same thing every single time and showing that you can play what you know, and as long as you're playing it as well as you can, you don't actually need to be running the most optimum comp for the map. You can just play what you know, play it well, and you're going to win.
Yes, no, that what do we call that? The London Spitfire approach of lock the heroes you like and just run it down mid with them. No, it is tremendous play coming out from Chapadoodle especially, and Supernova as a whole. For Feet, though, I wonder if maybe you could have made a swap over towards the Bastion, potentially, instead of the Sojourn, because, like I said, a lot of the time when the Sojourn popped the ultimate, there was a Genji, a Tracer, and a Winston straight in their face. Even with the window, if there was a Primal Rage or there was something that could happen, it really didn't get a lot of value quite a lot of the time.
The lack of value really showed that how they couldn't do it, because they were getting picks in fights, they were trading back and forth, but you always want to favor that dive side when you are getting picks on both sides, because they just have so much more survivability. They get in and out. Bubble placements were just perfect on the side of Chapadoodle. I can't stress enough how much I think that going back over to that Winston really won them that map, but it was actually insanely sad to see. There was a lot of close fights, but Supernova just kept control of the points pretty much at all time.
Yeah, and I want to go back towards that point of the Winston very quickly as well. There were a couple of times on that first point where you saw Chapadoodle trying to engage onto the Baptiste, who was sitting up on that little high ground area, and he just couldn't reach. Every time he went up to get an uppercut or to seismic slam on the thing, it was almost just a hello and goodbye as he fell back down to the ground. It was a little bit sad watching it, to be honest. But Doomfist is very punishable when you're playing those styles of compositions. And for Doomfist, you want to get in, you want to get a pick in and get back out. There was no picks being found from the side of Supernova, so I think you're 100% right in the fact that Winston offers just a little bit more, I guess, sustainable movement, more controlled movement is what I want to call it as well, and way better cleave as well. The cleave damage coming out from Chapadoodle with
just
that
on
test
3
cannon.
members all the time. Like,
Exactly.
always 3 people on Feet just getting beamed right down, having to always commit that immortality field because 3 of them would die, and then being able to just Primal Rage boot them out of the MO. It was perfect.
Exactly right. And, well, if your Feet, the map pools are looking a little bit purple for you right now. We need a little bit more orange if you are Feet. So they're taking us over to Esperanza. This is my favorite push map. I'm just going to say it now. It's my favorite push map in the game. I don't particularly like push as a gamer, but this is a beautiful map. It allows such a variety of compositions. Both teams are going to really enjoy this. I actually think Supernova might have a little bit of the advantage playing this dive style that they've been playing. There's a lot of open ground here for them. So, they might struggle a little bit initially, trying to avoid any of that poke damage and trying to get set up for the dives. But if they get in for those dives, they are going to be well in control.
Absolutely. The middle of Esperanza has a lot of high ground that you can play around. Maybe when you get to the later ends, there isn't as much high ground to play around, but certainly for that first part, really nice to have those high grounds to control playing that dive kind of style. But again, I wouldn't count out a brawl. We actually haven't seen a lot of like those Junker Queen kind of brawly styles that you have seen being very meta. We've seen a lot of the Sigma kind of slower pokey game style as well against this dive, which I think Supernova has just become well known for. Like they're known for their dives. You see like Mutnick's favorite hero is Brig. Liam's really good on that Ana, and obviously Chabadoodle's favorite hero being that Winston as well. So it's going to be an interesting clash because again, they're not playing the same comps, and no maps we've seen today have they been playing the same kind of composition. It's been Supernova on the dive and Feet on their pokey brawl.
Yeah, and yeah, Pokey Brawl is a pretty good assessment of it. I actually quite like that. It's been really interesting watching Feet the last couple of maps because they've kind of been doing some weird stuff with their positioning while playing this brawl. Like they're not sticking together as much as I'd really have liked them to. You could see quite a couple of times Lex was caught out going for a flank on the Mei and trying to get onto Mutnick, and every now and again they get the kill on Mutnick. But you've used all your resources and damage trying to kill one person while there's 4 other teammates who are just being absolutely mincemeat because you're not there to help anchor or wall anyone off. So Chapadoodle can jump in, Chapadoodle can jump out. Coming into this fight, I want to see Lex maybe play a little bit more with the team. In fact, I want to see Feet bunch up a lot more, I guess.
I think that's a very good point that you've made. Feet need to be playing it just a little bit more together, and as you can see, they're still going to be running out on the same comp. Basically, all the comps we've seen today have been pretty similar with a couple of swaps here and there, maybe in order to do a little bit of counter picking. I'm excited to see how this matchup works, but what notably, it's been very rolly. Like the maps, you know, the first 2 points were Feet all the way, and then it was Supernova rolling them from there. So a push rolling is really important, like being able to just snowball. So it's going to be interesting to see who gets this first cap and how that's going to set up the rest of the map.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about momentum here. Where is Liam Fox going to position as well? That's another question I have. Are they going to go straight onto the high ground? They need to be careful not to get picked by Netro here, who will also be on the opposite high ground. Netro has the ability to weigh with the power slide, so will not need to worry too much about the dives. And there is the push coming through straight away.
There we go. They are pushing onto the opposing high ground, but notably, ODP gets a dive in from the side angle right here. ODP is anti, but does get support from the rest of the team. But because they have so much cleave and they're playing around this Winston so well, Mutney gets the first pick, and there we go, Slitzer gets a pick too. Netro does take out Bunny in the back, however, but everyone on the side of Feet is quite low right now. But ODP gets the shots just with the primary fire onto Slitzer. Liam does take down ODP though in return, and because we still got a healthy monkey on the field, Chabadoodle is just going to start punching people. He's like, please get off of my push robot.
Chapadoodle did so much damage in that fight, 82% towards that primal rage, so much cleave, and I mean, that's Feet sticking together, which is what I wanted to see, but again, I don't know if this Sojourn is offering the value that you really want it to. There's no instant picks coming through. Primal Rage is online now, Krez, and it's going to be interesting to see how they use it.
Such a quick primal build up on the side of Chapadoodle as the fight goes in right now. Liam's actually really close to that nano. I wonder if they're maybe trying to do a bit of farming for this nano before they engage in a fight so they can do their tried and true combination. But that's an amazing bubble, an amazing dive. The MO comes down again, as we know, and there we go. The primal rage pop don't even need the nano right now because he just wants to push people out of that primal, out of that immortality field. Mutney gets that kill onto Solus. They're cleaning up. Chapadoodle, an absolute legend with these primal rages.
This is clinical gameplay from Supernova, and they only had to use one ultimate. They're going to have 4 more for the next fight, and they're going to get the good respawns as well. That's incredible for Supernova for these next few fights, and like you said, if it's all about momentum here, it's all in favor of Supernova. Feet do have some ultimates of their own here. Notably, they'll have the sound barrier, they'll build up towards the amplification matrix, but they need to be careful that they don't just get hard aggressed on here by Supernova.
One thing to note, this is a phase that might work a little bit better for the side of Feet because there is a little bit less high ground to play, but I say that, but Chapadoodle has been playing this really well. Does get the nano, but actually unfortunately has to retreat with it. But Bonnie gets the headshot kill onto Lex, going in with that overclock. So much is happening. They invest their gravitic flux into it, and ODP's so low, he does end up getting that kill onto Bunny right now, but they're just going to be chased right down. Like, you've got Chapadoodle still alive, the aggression does hit him, but Soldier gets the kill with the pulse, gets the kill onto ODP, just cleaning up the fight. They're already halfway through this Streets phase, and they did commit a lot of ults, but Feet committed a couple as well.
Yeah, that's a really bad fight to lose if you are Feet. ODP's made the swap back over to the Winston now, so we're getting a Winston v Winston mirror. It's going to be the Blizzard that is online, as well as that amplification matrix and the overclock that's just been popped.
Here we go, amplification matrix pops. They just really wanted to get Chapadoodle, but he manages to get out. He is a sneaky little monkey right now. He does get Oh wait, ODP actually gets anti. He's one shot. Everyone is so low on the side of Feet, barely alive. Lex low too. The immortality field goes down, immediately taken out, and these fights are just going so in favor of Supernova.
Yeah, and that's so well played there from Supernova. They disengaged as soon as the Amplification Matrix came out. That ultimate got essentially no value. It didn't really provide any healing, and it didn't provide any sort of damage as well. Now we see a swap from Lex over towards that Tracer. Haven't seen that today so far. It's full damage control mode now for Feet. Supernova, they could close this out right now with just the Nano Boost and the Primal Rage, and we see Liam Fox already positioning all the way back.
So much can be done with just this Nano Boost and the Primal Rage right now. Netra does, though, get the first pick onto Bunny. I wonder if they're going to commit to this fight. Mudnix just gets taken down by Lex as well. Netra gets the kill into Chapadoodle, so they will be able to get the cart kind of moving in their favor, but notably they haven't pushed the cart at all. Lex goes really big in that fight, however.
Yeah, but Supernova didn't invest anything. That's what is crucial there. I don't know why they didn't invest anything because, I mean, they were fighting against a team with no ultimates. And for Feet, you only have the Primal Rage from ODP. You're going up against the Primal Rage, the Nano Boost, and the Pulse Bomb. And then later on in the fight, if it's needed, the Overclock as well. This is going to be really difficult for Feet. They need to try and get this fight win as cleanly as possible.
Nice anti on ODP makes him retreat for a little bit, but Liam is really close, but is being protected by Mutnik right now. That is good to know. Both Primal Rages have been popped, and everyone is just getting booped all over the map everywhere. And it is just absolute carnage. Bonnie getting really low, but doesn't get taken out, is kept alive. The Nano Boost is invested. I wonder who it was invested onto. I didn't actually see it in the kill feed, but Bunny is lining them up with this overclock.
Yeah, Bunny just absolutely cleaned up there. There's nothing else to say about that. Cleaned up. Really well played there by Mutnik to keep everyone alive during, especially Liam Fox, during that Primal Rage assault. But Supernova invested a lot of ultimates there. They only have the rally on board now. They're going to go up against a Nano Boost and an Overclock later on from Feet.
Back pushing that cart towards the end, but they just have so much control of the map right now. As you can see, Bunny is just putting in the damage on the railgun, just trying to get that charge so that can hopefully get a right-click kill. The pulse bomb no, he just ends up recalling right there, and the rally is popped by Mutnik. He's like, ODP, you will not get out of this tiny room, but ODP does get out of the room. He gets an anti, though. He's 1 health, still alive. Mutnik does get antied, however, back, and it is just a little bit of chaos right now. We have Netra who commits the overclock. ODP, though, takes that much. Bunny takes that Netra, even though Netra is using that overclock right now. ODP gets the kill onto Liam. Solis gets the kill on Chapadoodle. Bunny gets the kill onto ODP, and that is, look, it's just a bit of a stalemate fight right now, but I think the Supernova is just going to retreat, and that will definitely be a retreat after Citrus gets that kill on Bunny.
Yep, and fair enough to retreat there as well. You didn't need to invest anything else. Mutnik attempted to try and trap ODP, couldn't get it done. After that, Supernova have such a big lead, they don't need to continue the fight. Feet now will have their rally, and will have their Pulse Bomb online, so we need to watch out for Lex getting in the backline, and ODP should also build up towards his Primal Rage relatively soon and cause a little bit of chaos.
The dive comes down onto the supports, but Nogg's doing a good job of keeping Liam alive for the time being. The pulse one invested, but actually gets whip shot away, so it does not connect. Really nice whip shot right there. Bunny gets the kill onto Netra. Chapadoodle is going onto the rallying Brig, who does get slept, but immediately woken, which is really great. And now he's just going to be like, Solus, I want to tickle you with my gun. And the Ana does fall as well. And that's the one thing that's happening, is even though Feet are winning fights, they're winning fights so deep into Supernova's push that they get back to the center, there's another fight, they start winning, and this is just classic push. It's so hard when they've pushed so far to be winning consecutive team fights because you're committing ults.
Yeah, exactly. And coming into this fight here, we could actually see Supernova just take this fight. They have their Nano Boost online, they'll get their Primal Rage, and they've got this Overclock as well. You really only need one kill. Lex has gone off of the Tracer and gone over to the Genji now, so a little bit more sustained damage on the front line, but way less flanking potential from Lex here. There's the dive coming in from ODP.
There you go, but notably that Inspire's just keeping the team healthy right now. And Bunny does end up popping the overclock while Chapadoodle is in the back line, just wreaking a little bit of havoc. ODP's trying to do the same thing, but it's just working out a little bit better for Chapadoodle right now. This is just cleanup duty right now, and it's going to, the bot is going to start pushing towards that end goal.
That is an awful fight from Feet, because not only did they invest their Primal Rage, Supernova invested pretty much nothing other than the Overclock there. And then they still now have 3 ultimates online. It's last fight territory, and Supernova, with, again, just a Nano Boost and the Primal, could probably clean this up here.
Yeah, I feel like we're just going to see a nano onto Chapadoodle. We do, and Citrus is immediately melted right now. Chapadoodle is touching the spawn door. He's got 2 people in there on 1 HP. ODP does get the kill onto Liam Fox, which kind of sucks, but they did get the nano off before that happened. Munnix now popped to the rally, a lot of sustain. Chapadoodle is just holding 3 of them hostage at the spawn door right now. Slitzer has come and joined them. He's got a pulse bomb, I think, if they try and walk out. 1 meter left. They do touch the point. They do get out in time, and they do touch the point, but everyone is so low. Citrus so low, and now it is just Lex fighting it out. ODP does manage to get back in time, gets the kill onto Mutnik, so they don't have any healers for the moment. Oh, and gets a kill onto Bunny, but so close to the end of the map, a minute left. They do get the cleanup. They're going to need a miracle to be pushing this now.
Absolutely no way they managed to win that feat. What I missed in the little analysis pre-fight was that Solace actually had their nano boost as well and managed to get it onto ODP from the spawn door so that ODP could go and finish off Liam Fox, which meant Supernova had no sustain in that fight. Coming into this next fight, Supernova have pretty much nothing. They will get Bunny towards that overclock, but Netra already has it, and ODP will build up towards his Primal Rage and is in the back line.
Nano, the Blade is just invested as soon as it comes out and immediately takes out Liam Fox, but immediately does get traded out. Mutner gets the kill onto Lex. ODP is so low, but manages to get out with their life. Chapadoodle's in the back line as well. Everyone's just in the trenches a little bit, all rotating around this point, but the push bot is actually starting to push for feet. They're going to need to stay on this spot pretty much the entire time way back, but there you go. Buddy actually has overclock again, invests the overclock, lines the ODP, gets a really nice shot onto Solace. Netra actually overclocks as well. There's 2 overclocks out on the field. Does take out Mutnik. Chapadoodle though takes out Citrus, and while Bunny is 12 HP and fighting Lex in the back, and Lex does actually get the recall off in time. I think Lex is probably going to go down right now. It's on 2 HP, and I don't actually think they're going to be able to get the overtime running, and they don't.
No, they're not, and that's it. I mean, that's it. Supernova are going to win not only this map, but they're going to win this series as well. Tremendous play coming out from Supernova in that fight, and I mean, it's incredible what they were able to do. And of course, the play of the game goes over to Chapadoodle, who has just been absolutely phenomenal all series long, and especially in this map, really showed some Winston chops.
When Chapadoodle was playing like this, Supernova looked undefeatable, and that really goes to show. And I think as well, like we saw that Feet had to go over to that Winston comp. They had to swap off of what they were really good at and what they were kind of known for. They had to swap over into the exact count, like the exact same comp. But we just know that Supernova is so comfortable on the composition of that, and you could really see it. Like Feet were winning fights, but they had to invest so much at their spawn door, and then they're coming back, and Supernova just doing a really good job of holding those high grounds in the middle of the map, winning the fight, and then pushing the bot back.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I think obviously we're both in agreement that Chapadoodle is the MVP of this game. I don't think there's any debate or question. We could try, but I don't think it's any debate. I think that Chapadoodle was by far the most influential player in this lobby at the moment, and obviously everyone did extremely well, but Chapadoodle was on a completely different level today, so looked threatening, and if he's going to play like that in the LPL tournament, Supernova might be a little dark horse for that, so keep an eye out on that. But
Chapadoodle Doomfist, yeah, Chapadoodle Winston, yeah.
Alrighty, well, from us, I think that is going to be all, unless we have anything else that we need to say. I think that's okay.
We might be seeing if we can get someone in for a quick interview, but we did again want to say thank you all so much to all the players who competed in today's show match. It was really fun, and I think that you could see the ebb and flow within the matches themselves. Of course, like Feet had areas where they looked like they were dominating. Like again, the first 2 points of Saravasa, you thought they were going to clean up that map, but then they swap over to the Winston, and everything just goes right for Supernova there, which was absolutely insane right now. And then, but even though 3-1, like Supernova just showing how well they did, and especially on a map like Esperanza where you don't expect the dive to come out to just perform as well as they did. That was so amazing. So thank you so much again to Feet for playing as well. Obviously, Supernova the home team, so getting a little bit more of the love, but some really epic players from Feet, and what a great show match we had.
And we do have an interview, and I believe is it with our man of the match there, Mr. Fairy in my ear. It is our man of the match. It's Chapadoodle. Chappa, how are you, friend? How do you feel after getting a pretty convincing 3-1 win, to be honest?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. Just won some Overwatch games, you know. Can't feel bad about that.
Just casually dominating on the Winston
gameplay. Yeah, well, I do it every day, man, you know.
I love to hear it. Tell me, Is this dive composition that you guys were playing today? Is this what you guys have been primarily focusing on in the lead up to this tournament here?
I would say that I've primarily been focusing on Winston my entire life. So, so to answer that
You can
question,
tell.
yes. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we typically prefer dive comps. We've experimented with other stuff. We used to be a better rush team than we were a dive team, but definitely recently we've kind of like all leveled up a lot and kind of just dominating every team on dive. So I'll just play
Yeah.
Winston Sebastian all day, man. It works.
I mean,
The
if it works,
Doomfist
it
swap.
works.
Can we talk
Uh,
about that? Was that because you wanted to play Doomfist, or they told you to play Doomfist?
No, I am learning a bit of Doom because I do want to be more flexible, right? I don't want to be a
Yeah,
Winston one
absolutely.
trick forever, so I've been practicing Doom, but I know that I can sort of just go Winston in any circumstance and win the game, so I always end up back on Winston.
I love this confidence that you have in your gameplay. There's so much swagger to it, and we saw it come out today. Obviously a bit of a shaky start. Map one. Do you guys? What do you guys think of that Sigma composition? I guess, and do you think that maybe in map one there were any changes that you would like to have made?
Well, the ping was not helping us. I don't know
I
if
can imagine.
broadcast could tell, but yeah, the
Oh,
IND
we
was
did
like
see the
spiking heaps,
slideshow
yeah.
for a little bit, so that was
Um,
pretty fun. You went to the moon at one point.
Yeah, but
Literally.
I guess on the shorter control maps, it's easier for them to reach with TP, yeah? It's like, we just have to sort of play around their TP better, because, like, if they TP on backline and kill backline first, like, if Divecomp doesn't make the first engage, we're sort of, like, already behind, right? So, I think it was just a warm-up map for us, really. In the end,
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, we just really adapted our playstyle. I don't think we needed to comp change or anything, you know?
Adapt your
You feel
play
in
style. You
Surabasa as
certainly
well. Because in Surabasa you went 0-2 down. It would have been feeling a little bit dicey, but then you come back and you win the next three so convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to focus up, you know? We just, like, sometimes we get in our own heads and we're getting a bit negative, you know? But we just have to, like, pull it back together, you know? And we've got a pretty good, like, energy on the team as well, so it's never too hard to do that.
Nice. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, Chapper, for stopping
No
by. It
problem.
was incredible gameplay to
Thank you
watch.
guys for
Incredible
casting
gameplay
as
to
well.
cast.
Thank you for everything you've
It
done
was
today.
a pleasure, honestly. Those
It
primal
was.
raids. You'll have to teach me how to play Winston sometimes. It was
Oh,
absolutely marvelous to see how it
You
was.
just do 4GAD code, just practice Primal all day. You'll get it.
All right, absolutely. Sounds good.
Thank
All
you
right.
guys.
Well, thank you again, Chapper, and well
problem.
done today. And from us here in the broadcast team as well, thank you so much to everyone who came by to watch. Thank you to all of the players today for being incredible. Big thank you to Hype Hello for being the man that you see the game through, as well as producing the stream. Without him, none of this could be done or possible. So big thank you and round of applause towards him as well. And massive thank you as well to Krez for coming by and doing some casting as well. It's very enjoyable, Krez, casting with you. So, yeah.
It's lovely casting with you too, Harry. I know, from teammates to casters. Look at us go, evolving all the time. Thank you guys so much for having us, and we hope to see you in another DE cast sometime soon.
Take care.